Hello friends, this is an interesting tutorial where I would demonstrate how to prepare dashboards from Tally data in IBM Cognos Analytics. So Cognos Analytics is basically a competitor of Power BI which existed even before Power BI was there. So this is a very detailed tutorial covering end-to-end process of how to push data from Tally into database server, then model it in Cognos Analytics, and then how to prepare dashboard in it. So over to my screen. Before I start with the tutorial, let me show you the preview of dashboard which we are going to prepare. So as you can see, so this is a monthly sales dashboard. Okay, and top 5 customers, Partywise sales or top 5 customers. Seems interesting. So let's start. Now, the prerequisite for it is that first thing is that you need to have Tally to database utility installed. Okay, so you can go to download section and from here download this utility. Okay, then next you need to have Tally installed. Okay, so I'm using Tally Prime latest version. So this Tally is residing on my Office local network. Okay, then I will be transferring Tally's data into Azure MySQL database. Okay, so I'm using MySQL as a database and it's on Azure. That means it's on Microsoft Azure Cloud. Okay, and after that, I will be pulling this data into IBM Cognos Analytics. So this is even cloud based. So you don't require any software to be installed. You can just simply access this right from your browser, prepare dashboard directly, and even view from the browser itself. Okay. Friends, you need to purchase IBM subscription so for Cognos Analytics. So Cognos Analytics subscription is available monthly. So you can just go to website called myibm.ibm.com. You can Google it, sign up and create a account. And after you create an account, so you can go to view all products. Okay. And from here you can type Cognos. Okay, so Cognos Analytics on cloud. Okay, and you can click here and it will show you that sign up window. Okay, you can even take a 1 month free trial and after that it is $10 per month. So this roughly comes to this amount for me, 745 when I made the video. Now, how to create Azure MySQL? Okay, so I will just walk you through. I will not really create because I already have, but I will just walk you through this steps. So I will just go to home screen, create a resource. So I will hit see all, go to database, and so I selected Azure database for MySQL flexible server. Okay, create flexible server. Okay, can select resource group or create. Then in the server name, probably you need to enter your organization name, which should not be taken by anyone. So it should be globally unique. So you can try entering multiple names. Like I can simply, just for sake of this video, I can enter something like this. Okay. Then for development or hobby project, so that it allocates a very lightweight and low cost MySQL server. Okay. You can check the pricing. So at the max, it would go 974 plus 180. That means somewhere 1200, 1300 per month. Okay, not more than that. And that too, if you are using it inside your free limits, then no charge. Okay. Now you will have to assign some password. So in username, probably you should be entering maybe your name or something different. Okay, like I created username by name Tally, and you can create any password. Okay. Okay, so you can go to next, networking, public access. Okay, allow all public, and you should without failing add 00 to 255 so that your Azure MySQL accept database connection from any IP address so that we can sync tally data to this Azure SQL. Okay, go and click on hitting next, 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 and then you can create hit. Okay, hit this create button and it will create it. Okay, I will skip this because I already created that. Now the next step is creation of database on Azure MySQL. Okay, so you should note down this server name because you will require this even for tally to database utility and even for creating a MySQL connection. Okay, so I will go to MySQL Workbench. I hope you have already installed it. Okay, and you can create this hit plus and create new connections. You can name anything. In the host name, you have to copy paste this server name. There is the copy button also here. Username, whatever username for MySQL you created and whatever password you set it for the first time. Okay, and you can create a connection. Okay, so I already created a connection. So I will simply hit this and open that database admin panel. Okay, so it is connecting to my database admin panel. Okay, so let me create a new database. So I will right click here and let's hit create schema. Okay, so I will say this is, so my company name in Tally is fraudulent syndicates. Okay, so I will, let's say, create a database by name Tally underscore FS, short for fraudulent syndicate. So Tally underscore FS, so that I can uniquely identify this company, because I would be creating multiple database in real life. Okay, so Tally underscore FS, apply, finish. Okay, so this database got created. So let's double click and create tables we require inside this. Okay, so I'll go to this utility Tally to database loader. Okay, now you can copy paste the database structure in from this file, but I will personally recommend that you go to platform for MySQL or Postgres. You go to platform, like I am running MySQL, so I will go to MySQL and I have separate database structure file for MySQL. So I can copy this and paste it inside this. Okay, so the table and field names are same, only the data type minor changes. Okay, and I will select this and hit execute button so that all the tables get created. Let's wait for all the, okay, there are 21 tables in total. So all this 21 table got created. We can see green tick. Okay, so we are done with this. So all our tables are there. Let me refresh this and check. Yeah, I can see all the tables here. Okay, let's synchronize Tally data into Azure MySQL. Okay, so first one-time setting you need to do in config.json, because by default it has some different setting. So let me show you the settings which I made and try to replicate this exact settings. Okay, so in technology it should be MySQL. In server you can copy paste that thing from your Azure MySQL panel, which I even used for that MySQL connection. Port 3306, SSL true, because Azure uses encrypted connections. Okay, schema, so I created a company by name Tally underscore FS. Okay, then username, whatever is that, password, whatever you have set, and load method you can keep it insert or file. So file will do a fast transfer of data on the database. Okay, so this is for quick transfer and it is a bit faster than insert. For the Tally, localhost 9000 or whatever Tally port you have, from date to date you should set it in reverse, year, month and day format. Sync should be always full and company name, either you can leave blank or it should match with your tally company name, not folder name. It should match with your company name of the tally. Or I will insist, let it be blank and just keep one company open in tally, which one you want to synchronize. Okay. Okay. So all this is set. Let us hit Control S and save these configurations. Okay. And let's run the utility to synchronize the data. So I'll run this run.bat file and this will dump the data into the database server. Okay. Let's wait for the utility. Okay. So our database data is synchronized properly. Okay. And let's check. So our error log is 0. That means no error were generated, and import log. Let's open and check how many rows were transferred. Yeah. So I can see many rows have been transferred. Okay. That means my data was synchronized perfectly. Okay. Now let's launch our IBM Cognos Analytics on cloud. Okay. So I will go here. So once you purchase or start a free trial, you should start getting this here. Okay. Subscription. This. So I'll click launch, which will launch IBM Cognos Analytics in another tab. Let's wait. So you can simply press dismiss. Okay, so this is the screen which you get generally when you log into your IBM Cognos Analytics. Okay, now first step is that I would be creating a database server connection. Okay, so I'll go to this menu. I'll go to manage and I will go to data server connections. So basically I will be connecting my IBM Cognos on cloud with Azure MySQL. Okay, so let me add a data server here. Let's say Azure MySQL. You can name anything. Okay, Azure MySQL, and the company name is Fraudulent Syndicate. Okay. Anything you can name. So connection type. So I'll type MySQL. Okay, hit next. Now JDBC URL. Okay, so host. So in the host, you need to go to this Azure control panel, copy this. So this is our host. So I'll select this and paste it here. Okay, port is 3306, always standard for 3306 slash database name. Okay, slash database name. So database name is tally_fs. You can keep the remaining things same. Okay. Then method you should use sign on. Okay, use sign on, and let's click add sign on. So sign on name you can again keep it same, Azure MySQL. User ID, whatever user ID you created. So in my case user ID was tally, and whatever password you set for your MySQL. So let me enter my password. Okay, so done. Select dispatcher, you can select any. Okay, and let's hit test connection now to check if our credentials worked or not. Test connection successful, that means our credential worked. Okay, so let me press next. You can ignore this screen and just hit create. Okay, so our new database server connection got created. Let me open it. Okay, and here just click on these three dots and go to asset. Asset means which tables from this database I want to include. Okay, so I will locate tally and so table name, sorry, database name from here, and I will hit load. So I want to load all the tables from this company database, tally underscore fraudulent syndicate. Okay. Now, technically, this is not loading data in IBM's cloud, but it is simply running some checks and establishing connections and checking the structure of the tables. Okay. Okay. So it found 20 tables. Let me click it done. Okay. So our even tables got created. Now you cannot directly start creating your dashboards or report. Okay. First, you need to model the data. So again, let's open the menu. Okay, go to contents and let's properly open some folder for this. Okay, so I think first we will create a folder. So probably you should enter your company name like fraudulent syndicate. So I will enter tally. Okay, tally data. I will open this folder, and in this folder first we will create a data model. Okay, so I will click new and I will create a data module or model when I'm the same. So first is ask that from where it wants to import data for modeling. So it is really not importing, but read the data. Okay. So I will go to this icon, data server connections, Azure MySQL, and this is for company fraudulent syndicates. We'll click here and choose this schema, TallyFS. Let's click OK. Now it will ask me that which tables I want to add. So I will manually select which table to load in model. So on the master sites, we need groups, ledger, voucher types, and so let's locate. So MST, that means master, group, ledger, and voucher type. Okay, MST voucher type. You can always click here, and if you want to check whether data was clearly means loaded, you can click refresh and you can see a preview of the data. Okay, like this here. Okay, so 3 tables from master, group, ledger, voucher types, and on the transactions we require 2 tables, voucher, which contains header information of any voucher like date, type of voucher, then voucher number, narration, blah, blah. And next one is TRN accounting, which contains debit and credits of individual vouchers. Okay, debits and credit. So we selected all these 5 tables. Let me press OK and load these tables into model. Okay. So you can see these tables loaded into model. You can click here and check the table data. Okay, now first we need to apply some filters. So because modeling requires relating the tables. Okay, creating relationships between tables. But before that, we need to adjust few things like our ledger and group is related, but we need to remove out the exceptions. Like, let me show you. So all the ledgers have a group which is called parent, which resides in MST group. But profit loss is a special ledger in Tally which doesn't have any group. So it is a sort of God created ledger. Okay. So this would break the relationship or create any issues in the calculation. So let me filter it out. Okay. So I will click here, go to properties. Okay. And let me filter out this column. Okay. Select column. So based on this parent. Okay. Or you can even select profit and loss. So you can literally copy paste this. Okay. So based on the name, so I want to add a filter on the name and let me add it custom condition. So does not equal to profit and loss. So keep or retain all the ledgers excluding profit and loss. Okay, let me click apply. Okay, so it automatically excluded that ledger. And let's click OK, so that we are left with one less ledger. Okay, now this has gone. Now if you notice, Cognos created a uh, shallow copy of this ledger table as soon as I applied filters. Okay, where this filter was not applied, so you can simply click here. Okay, and remove this from the model, because yes, we want filtered only. Okay, next, one more filter is required. Okay, now if you go to this TRN voucher, so I am basically interested in only accounting type of data. Now issue is that voucher contains even the inventory type of data. So now the issue is that purchase or sale orders many times have amounts. So these amounts automatically gets into this accounting table. Okay, so I want to exclude all the vouchers which are of order type, that means purchase or sale order, and even GDN and GRN also get created into accounting. So you can see even in this effects getting into accounts. Now what Tally does is, so Tally automatically filter out when uh, calculating the closing balance. So it will automatically filter out GRN, GDN and sale order, purchase order from it. But in this tool or on this our data, we will have to manually filter this out. Okay, so you have to go to TRN voucher and add filters. So we need to add two filters. Okay, now how to identify this? So there are two fields in the TRN voucher called is order voucher and is inventory voucher. Okay, so 0 means no and 1 means yes. So if you now, luckily I don't have any type of this, but if you have any sales or purchase order, you will see one here. Okay, and if you have any GDN, GRN or maybe manufacturing journal, you will see it here because that is an inventory type of voucher. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to properties, filters, and I'm going to add this filter. Okay, so I will say is order voucher, add a filter for this, and okay, let's set this to 0. Okay, so is order voucher should be is equal to 0. And let's add one more filter. Okay, you can click on this select column. Okay, is inventory voucher, and let's add a filter for it. And even this should be 0. So this should be 0. Okay, so there are two filters. So if there are any GDN, GRN or sales order, purchase order, now this would be filter out. You can see this filter icon applied here. Okay, now let's save this. So I will say Tally data model. Okay. And I will save this in my content, Tally data, or in your case company name, and you can hit save. Next step is that you need to establish relationships between this table so that Cognos Analytics knows how to link this data and produce the results or calculations. Okay, so I will go to this relationship window. Okay, and let's arrange. Okay, so group, ledger, You can do any type. Okay, I'm trying to arrange it in simple way. Okay. Okay, now group and ledger is related. Okay. So I'll go to group, properties and relationships, and I will add a relationship. So group and ledger is related. So parent in ledger is name in group. Okay. So parent field of this ledger is basically group name. Parent is nothing but group name. Okay, let's match. Okay, so this should be 1 to n, many. Let's click OK. Okay, so one group can contain multiple ledgers. So under one group, there can be multiple ledgers, 1 to n. That means many. Okay, perfect. Let's relate voucher and accounting. Okay, voucher and accounting. So I will click this voucher, go to properties, relationship, add a relationship, voucher and TRN accounting. So GUID field is connecting. So one voucher can have multiple rows in accounting table. So because one voucher will have multiple debits and credits which are sitting in TRN accounting. Okay. And the connecting field or column is GUID, by which this we can establish this relationship. Let's match this 1 to n. So ensure that you are properly putting this on left and right side so that this sign gets properly here. So don't swap this, otherwise we'll have to manually interchange this from here. Okay. Let's verify. So one voucher can have multiple debits or credit. Now next thing, voucher types. Okay. Now I will go to voucher types. I will go to add relationships. Now voucher type is nothing like sale, purchase. So you can have even under sales, you can create multiple types, voucher types like sales domestic, sale export, like that. Okay. So our voucher type is correlated to TRN voucher. Okay. So in TRN voucher, the voucher type field is related to this name field. Okay. Name field is MST voucher type. One and same. Let's match. If you want to check the results, you can click refresh and verify the results. Okay. Okay, 1 to n. Now we need to even link this ledger and accounting table. We'll go to this ledger table, properties, ledger and accounting. Okay, so I will say that in the accounting, the ledger field is nothing but the name field of this MST ledger. So I can say that one ledger can have multiple debit credits in the accounting table. Okay, let's match this 1 to n and let's hit OK. 1 to n. Okay, so we establish all the relationships. Let's hit the save button and save this relationship. So first let's check if our column types or field data types are correct or not. Okay, so columns, database columns are called, or calculated columns are called attributes in Cognos, and dynamic calculation or aggregations are called measures. So let's expand our, let's say, group table. Okay, now is revenue, is deemed positive. So this is yes no type. So 1 or 0. Okay, type. Now this icon is for, so if you go to properties, this is an attribute. Okay, but Cognos mistakenly treated this as a measure or dynamic calculation, but it is not. So what I will do, I will select all this. Okay, and I will turn this to or convert it to attribute. So these are my database column. So Cognos should not treat it as a dynamically calculated values. And this you have to do for all the columns before you add. Okay. And you have one more option. Let's say you have few fields which you don't want to view. Okay. Hide when you are preparing reports. So you can simply go and hide these fields. Okay. Like this. So this is also attribute. Okay. Like this GUID. So if you go here, so this is simply a system generated ID, which you actually don't need require. This is just for modeling or database purpose, but for display purpose, you would not be requiring it. So you can hide these types of field like alter ID. So I can simply hide this. So I can click here and so this grays out. Okay. So you can select many fields like this, which you don't want your user to see. Like in ledger table, there are many which you actually don't require. Like I'm not in this model, I'm not using this bank account, tax rate, this rate. Okay, I will pressing shift and selecting all this, and I will be hiding all this. Well, so it would gray out. Okay, not even this alter ID or underscore parent. Okay, I don't require. So you can in this way hide all this in the model, and these are actually our attributes, not measures. Okay, so ensure you do this for all the tables. Let me quickly do this for all the tables. Okay, these are my attributes. Alter ID I don't require, so I'll hide it. TRN voucher. So attributes and all the underscore columns you can actually go and hide this. And even alter ID, this is not required. And in the accounting, even the same. Sorry, this should not be done. So amount forex I'm not using. I don't have any forex transaction. I can hide this. Even currency, everything is INR, and I can set this to attribute because amount column I would be requiring. So I will set this to attribute underscore. This table is not really required. Hide it. Okay. Let's save this model. Okay. Now let's add some calculated or fields or calculated columns which we would be requiring. Like this in transaction voucher column, there is date, but I require month name in short. Okay, like APR May for my bar charts. So let me create this. I'll click here, go to calculation, and I will write month name. So there is a function in Cognos called month name. Let's double click here. Okay, and inside this, I need to specify that which field contains the date from which it has to extract the month. So I'll double click here. Okay, and let's say date underscore month, something like this. Okay, let's validate this if our function and or expression is correct. Okay, and you can even preview the result. Okay, so you can see APR. Now there are many rows. So now I want this in short, only first three digits of this. Okay, so there is function called left in Cognos. Okay, so I will cut paste it here, comma 3. So extract 3 digits. So it is just like Excel function. Okay, let's validate this and preview the results. Okay. Okay. So it is just like a left function of your Excel where this is the month name, comma 3 digits from the left. Okay. And let's add this. Okay, date, month, and property should be identified. Okay, perfect. Cognos detected this properly. Okay. Now, one issue with this date underscore month is that basically we created a textual type of column. Okay, if you expand this, so this is a ABC, that means textual column. Now this column would be sorted in alphabetical, so April, then August, A. Okay, not April, May, June. So we need to instruct Cognos that when it is displaying this column in the report, it need not sort it alphabetically, but we should override this. Okay, so I will select this column. Okay, and we need to specify custom sorting for this. Okay, so I will go to display option, show members. Okay, now this should be by default, it is sort by the same, that means alphabetically. So I need to tell Cognos that this date underscore month should be sorted as per the order of date. Okay, not alphabetically. This is the date type column. If you notice, this is a date type column. Okay, and in ascending format. So I establish a custom sorting. Keep on saving this model. Let's create few measures or calculations or aggregations for our bar charts. Okay, like we would require the net debit or net credit. Okay, like if we want to net all the expenditure type of ledgers, we would require net debits. Okay, and if it is of income side, net credits. Income or liability side, we would require net credit. Okay, now the reason why I'm creating this is that, so if I go to TRN accounting, okay, you can find amount as minus or plus. Okay, so minus is debit in tally and plus is credit. Okay, so now net credit is simple. I will pick up all the credits. Okay, but net debit would always show up negative. So our bar chart will show negative amount. So I want to convert it to positive. Okay, so that's why I need two measures of net debits and net credits. Okay, so let's organize this properly into folder. So I will click a folder here. Okay, let's say calcs. You can name it calcs, or if you have multiple related to sales, related to purchase, you can even organize it further. Okay, so I will go to calcs folder and let me create a calculations. Okay, now net, first I will create for net credit. Okay, net credit. So what type of calculation is, so it is total. So sum is total in Cognos Analytics. So Cognos Analytics use function called total to sum. Okay, double click here. So which field to total? Okay, which field to total? So just total up the field called amount. Okay, I will double click here. Let's validate this. Okay, now you cannot really check the result of this. Reason, this is dynamic. So it doesn't know the context, whether I'm doing this for sales, purchase, whether I'm doing this calculation for April, May. So this context it gets from your report dynamically. So for here we cannot check this calculation really. Okay, so this will always come as positive because we are doing it net credit. And let's say if any income ledger goes to negative, so this will go to minus. Okay, okay, this is it. Now let's create net debit. Now if you are asking me that why didn't I very specifically applied a condition that I should only filter out the positive column so that I can pick credit. So reason is that you can have a negative income. Okay, you might transfer income into negative. So that's why I'm not putting this condition, and I'm totally relying on the modeling to handle this. Okay, let me create one more calculation called net debit. Similarly, net, you can even duplicate or copy paste it. Net debit. So same I will use total or indirectly sum formula, and I will from here will say that please choose amount from here. And naturally, if you are applying this for expenditure, it will come to negative. So I want to treat it as a positive. So I will say that multiply this with -1 to make it positive. Okay, let's validate this. Okay, net debit. Okay, now this, let's set property for both. So I will press shift and select this, and I will say these are measures, correct? Okay, data type is decimal. Okay, now I want to set formatting for this. Okay, so I'll right click here and format data. So for display purpose, I want to appear this in a number format with, yes, 1000 separators and with 2 decimal, or maybe you can manually place it because tally has with in 2 decimal places, but many times these decimals are not required, so we can override and set it to 0 decimal place so that it automatically gets rounded. Okay, so I'll press OK so that this formatting is also great. I will hit save. Let's get started with our first report. Okay, so I will go to this content. So I am already inside tally data. So this is the model, and I will create my dashboard. Okay, so I can select this default template, select data source. So I will be using in my content, I will be using inside this tally data, I have this tally data model. Okay, so this is the source I will be using. Let me first save this report and give it some name. So inside my content tally data, let's say this is our dashboard related to sales. Okay, so sales analytics, something like this, or you can name it any. Okay, okay. Now first thing is that monthly sales. Let's prepare monthly sales. Now reports have multiple tabs, so you can organize into tabs. So let me edit this title by double clicking and monthly sales. Okay, or month-wise sales, whatever you want to. Okay, then first I think let's have some good, put some good header. Okay, so I'll go here. Okay, text. Let's say my company name. Okay, can give any of this company name. Okay, let's, now this doesn't appear like header. Okay, let's make it look like an header, report header. So I'll click here, go to properties. Okay, like the background. Okay, let's try to change the background. Okay, so fill color, let's set it something like this. Okay. And font color is white. Let's try to increase the font size. Okay, actually the font is pretty big. I think let's keep it auto. Okay, we just need to basically center align it. So I'll center align it. Okay, like this. Now this is dynamic. So if we close this pane like this, okay, so you can keep it auto. So you can look. So it looks like a header. Okay, now next widget we require is that, not widget, visualization we require is the bar chart. So here I think it is called as column chart. Okay, in vertical fashion. Column chart. Let me drag it something like this. Okay, on our x-axis we require months. Okay, So in bars we require month. So I'll click here and let's locate field called month name. So sorry, date month. Okay. And in the length we require uh, credits because sale is of credit side. So net credit. Okay. Net credit. So net credit. Now it says that why you are not seeing any. So you are seeing 0 because net debit and credits have, or all the debits and credits have nullified each other because our entry is balanced, okay, in tally. So due to the double effect you are seeing 0. So now we will have to start applying filters. So this is not really showing the sales report because we are literally some netting of each debit and credit. Okay, so now we will have to tell the Cognos that how to arrive filter out the all the sales related. Okay, so first thing is that we should pick up only the sales voucher. Okay, we should pick up only the sales voucher. So in the local filters I will say voucher type. Okay, voucher type. Okay, voucher type. Now sales can have multiple. You can have sales voucher like sales domestic, sales export. Okay, so safely you can refer a field called parent. Okay, let's say if you have something like that, Tally will always keep maintain a parent called sales voucher. Okay, sales called sales. Let's locate. I can type. Okay. Okay, so just filter out all the vouchers of type sales here. Okay, so let's apply this filter. Still 0 because all the sales vouchers have debit and credit also. So now we need to instruct Cognos even say about the second filter that this is also balanced. So we need to say that only the credits, and that two credits can have rounding. So we will tell Cognos that on the please select all the uh, ledgers which are of type sales. So which have the groups as sales. So I will click here and add one more filter. So in MST group, now again you can organize sales into multiple. Okay, you can have subgroups in the sales. So safely I will say that primary group. So I will say that please keep all the ledgers which have primary group called sales. Okay, sales account of Tally. Now you can see amounts because now I applied two filters that select all the voucher types of sales, and that too inside that we will have debit and credit. So I will say that only keep the ledgers which are of type ledger of type sales account, so that we end up with only sales account in the credit side. Okay, we collapse it. Okay, so you can see something like this. Okay, I think let's try to match this with our tally. We can save this. Okay, I will try to just validate this figure with tally. Okay, so let's go to our tally and check. So I will go to profit loss, sales account, and we have sales material and service. So I'll try to total up this. Okay, so sales of April 1 crore 36 and 19 lakh. So 136 plus around 19 lakh 46 56 something. Okay, 155. Okay, because so it is somewhere same. I think let's do a calc. Okay, so I will activate the calculator and let's try to match this. Okay, 136,10128 plus 1974,444 155,84572. Okay, 155,84572. This matches. That means we are correct. Okay, now you can play with this display properties. Okay, like let's say you can do something like this. Okay, so that it appears very nice. You can change colors, themes if you want. Okay, now I want to change this header. Okay, so let's say month wise sales. Okay, and I don't want this date, month, or this to appear. So you can even hide this. Okay, you can even hide this. So in charts, you can, I think, yeah, it's in axis. So you can hide the titles. Okay, somewhere it is at the bottom. Okay, okay, so you can hide the title like this. Okay, it should show a label, and okay, you can hide even this axis, x and y axis like this. Okay, now it looks great. Let's save this. Okay, now if anyone wants to look this, so they can simply go to this content. Okay, select the folder from here, tally data, and inside folder you will find many of these reports. So this is model and this is report. So you can simply open this report in. So currently I am in edit mode. So this is something which looks in view mode. So you can also look this in full screen. Okay, so something it like this it will look. Let's try to add one more page into this sales analytics. So let's say Partywise analytics. Okay, Partywise sales. So I'll right click and duplicate this page. So I'll click here and duplicate so that I don't have to again keep on formatting this header. Okay, so I will click duplicate and edit Partywise sales. Okay, and we can reuse this. Okay, now this needs to be tabular. So I can click on this and I can convert this now to table. Okay, convert this to table. Let's see where the table is. Table, and I want to edit this tables fields. Okay, so the filters are correct. Now I want party and sales amount. Okay, so I'll remove both. So I think sales amount is net credit. That is correct. Now instead of this, let me remove this, and we require party name here. Okay, so party name is there in voucher, TRN voucher, party name. Okay, and let's sort this. So I think let's rearrange thing. Okay, like this, party name and sales, and I want to sort this based on net credit or sales amount. Okay, so I will sort it in descending. Sort it in descending. Let's sort this. Let's see why this is not. Okay, sorry. I cannot sort this by party name. Okay, because it would sort it alphabetically. Let's sort it by this net credit descending. Okay, so in this way, even you get this. So let's rename this party wise sales. Let me save this. Okay, now let's say if you want to change the header names. Now issue is that it doesn't directly, Cognos doesn't have any uh, facility to change the header. So you have to change the header name right from the model, data model. Okay. So party name, maybe you can change it from model. So what you can do, I will close this report, sales analytics. Okay. And go to this tally data model and go here, party name. Okay. Party name. Let's go to property. So this label or display label, I can set it to party. Okay, let's set this to party, and now issue is that and you can set this to amount. Okay, set this to amount. So I will go and change this to set this to amount. Okay, let's save this. Okay, save it. Again, go to content and freshly open this sales analytics in edit mode. And let's go to Partywise sales. Can you see? So this is automatically affected. Let's say you want to keep only top 5 parties. So you can always again go to this fields and you can apply top bottom. So let's say top 5, top count. Okay, so similarly you can play with this. Okay, top 5. Let's save this. Okay, so you can add many tabs like this to this page related to sales. So you might need to add calculations into this your model. Okay, or calculated columns or measure into your models based on this. Lastly, try this on your own tally data to reap maximum benefit of this tutorial. So you can always sign up for 1 month free trial of IBM Cognos Analytics, and Microsoft Azure you get 12 months with many services like Azure MySQL Service for free for 12 months. So I don't think Cognos Analytics is very costly. So it's very competitive currently. So if you like this technique, do like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel.